The Joe Rogan Experience.
What is it like to have a movie about one of the worst experiences of your life?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for asking it like that.
Yeah.
No one ever has. It's an honor to do that, to be a part of that. And it's funny because people are like, hey, they made a movie and the books and it was great. And I was like, man, it's about me getting my ass whipped. As a fighter and a warrior, those are usually the stories you don't want out. Right? So I'm in the loss column. I carry a lot of weight, 19 promises. I never forget it. So I walk around, I always remind myself I could run into somebody who knows or loved one of them or one of their family members. So I'll always carry myself a certain way I have to. That was the deal I made to get me off the mountain. People ask me who my heroes are. Everybody who had to come fetch me out of hell. I was in there pretty deep. And the way that lined out, it's a great story if you want to hear. I mean, the whole process.
I would love to hear it.
It's funny on the way up here. I was like, man, how's this interview going to go? And I was watching Joe Dirt last night. I was like, let's do it like that. You want to start from the beginning? Bro, I'll tell you some stuff you can't believe.
I'm glad you said let's start it off with whiskey.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, I'm like, this is going to go great.
It is.
Yeah.
I only drink whiskey with my friends. And you know the reason we say that is because of the things that come out when you drink whiskey.
Yeah.
So I've been looking forward to this. We've been friends for a while. I thought we should have a good time with it.
100%. Yeah. You know, I watched the movie again last night. I watched it yesterday just to prepare myself. And
I haven't seen it. I never watched it all the way through. I know the director's cut. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, no. Yeah.
So it was
I can imagine.
It was something to back it up to the book and how that all happened. Or you back it up to the military, wherever you want to start. We can go all different directions with it, but I was in the hospital. So when I got back, I was in the hospital for a while, and then I went back into the teams and started doing another workup for deployment, and then in between that, I was getting called to the boss's house. I've always been watched over on high ground. That was a blessing. Because so many of our guys died, and we had a fallen angel. When you have a fallen angel, y'all always hear about it. Like normally if SEALs die or something, it's on the bottom of the ticker, or only the family members here. But we had a fallen angel, which means we have an aircraft going down. And I didn't know about it, actually, when the mission started, because everyone who knew about our operation was on the helicopter. That's why I was out there for so long. And I remember I just got out of the hospital, and I was doing physical therapy at the team, and they called me up, and they said, hey, we're going to declassify part of this operation, and we're going to put it out into a book. And I was like, okay. I didn't know what that meant. Well, then they pulled me back up to the head sheds where we had this big meeting, and they assigned to me I was privileged enough to have the best lawyers, the best writers. Like I interviewed with everybody until I found a fit. Like I got to travel around. Like when Patrick and I met, he came out to the house. My mother fell in love with him. So that's how we knew he was and I had to live with him. So I would actually wake up on Sunday or Monday morning and go into work, do a workup, fixing to deploy. And then on Fridays, I'd have to fly to Cape Cod, and I would sit with Patrick and tell him the story. And then Sunday night, I'd fly back.
Patrick is the guy you wrote
Patrick Robinson, yeah.
He's the guy you wrote the
book.
He was,
yeah. Because my name wasn't in the book. It wasn't supposed to be anything like that. I was still operational. And then I deployed back to Iraq in 06 and 07. I ripped Jocko out. I know you met him.
Love Jocko.
Great guy.
And he loves you.
Man, he was one of my bosses.
He got so excited when he heard you were coming on. He texted me, and we went back and forth.
He's something. I called him. He's just what you see is what you get. You ever notice his face looks like it could perfectly fit in a Spartan helmet?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Like he's always. I mean, he's the when it comes to leadership.
Break glass.
That's it.
In case of war.
We have those guys.
Yes.
They're real. I know you've met some of them.
Yeah, we need those guys.
They exist. They're terrifying.
I'm so happy they're real.
Yeah, they're real.
Yeah, and Jocko is he's the archetype.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the reason why he was over Chris and Michael and Mark. If you noticed in the SEAL teams, all of our Medal of Honor guys are named Michael. You ever notice that?
No.
Yeah. Those are called Mark Angels. They always get the Medal of Honor. You get a Mark and a Michael running together in the SEAL team, something bad's going to go down. So we joke about that. But when the book came out, I was in Iraq. I remember the lawyers and everybody would write me emails and they're like, please don't die. And I was like, well, I'll try not to, thanks.
Jesus Christ.
So I got hurt in Iraq again. And when I got back, they positioned me out of the SEAL teams, and then they kind of rewrote that part, put my name in it. My job was to go around and tell you about your boys and what they did and how hard they fought and they died. And that was the greatest job. It was the hardest job I ever had to do. Because I remember when they pulled me offline as an operator. And the admiral was sitting there telling me, he's like, son, you're going to do more for the SEAL teams than you ever did in combat. And that was, I thought that was kind of an insult. I was like, wait, what do you mean?
Right.
I was like, do I need to work out harder? Do I need to? He's like, no, this is what you need to do. So I did that. And I traveled around and I told you guys. And then the movie, Hollywood came calling. So I got stationed to live there. They actually sat me down and introduced me to all the directors, and we had to find the fit. And then once Pete and I linked up for the first time, rest is kind of...
I mean, Peter Berg.
Yeah, Peter Berg.
Goddamn, he nailed it.
Man.
I know you haven't seen it because you've seen the director's cut.
Right, yeah.
But he fucking nailed it. That guy's a hell of a director. He, it just, there was no bullshit in that movie. There's a certain amount of bullshit, and I don't know if there's any bullshit in terms of like the reality of the experience versus the film version of it, but there was no gloss to that film.
So the way I'll talk about when I met Pete for the first time. So I got pulled up to L.A. to interview all of them. I was traveling around, just getting to meet everybody. Oliver Stone, I sat down in front of him. I mean, they went through me through the guy. I had lunch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I remember meeting him because I wanted to. He was a veteran, right?
Yeah.
And
I love that guy.
the lawyer that I got assigned to, he was great. Alan Schwartz is his name. And for those, have you ever seen Spaceballs?
Yes.
Okay. The Schwartz in Spaceballs?
Yeah.
It's named after him. So he's Mel Brooks's attorney. This is real.
That's crazy.
This is crazy. That was one of the coolest things why I got to meet him. And I was like, wait a minute, you're the Schwartz? He's like, yeah. So I got like assigned to him, and then my literary agent was this guy named Ed Victor. He's since passed, but he was great because he was a British guy, tall, skinny, and he would wear the sweaters tied around his neck and the white and black wingtips. Dressed to the nines, had that awesome accent, and he would tell me, he's like, Marcus, darling, I'm the SEAL in this world, just in this environment. Just let me take care of this. What are you saying to me?
How dare he?
Yeah, and I just kind of like, roger that. Because if you're the resident expert at something, I'll always drop in right beside you. So I was traveling around, and I'd been in L.A. for a couple of days, and I was supposed to get back to the base. And they were like, wait, there's one more guy who wants to meet you. His name's Peter Berg. And I didn't register in my head. I couldn't put the name to he's been around forever. He's like, he's down on the set filming a movie called Hancock with Will Smith. And I was supposed to get on my plane, but we went late and missed my flight. He's like, just go down there and see him. And I was like, all right. So we drive down there, and he's sitting in his chair, and then there's a train scene. So there was a huge train, and Will's standing. I got to meet him. It was pretty cool. And Pete walks up, Peter Berg. He's like, hey, let's take a walk. I was like, all right. And we sat down on this park bench overlooking the water. He's like, this is what I think of this. This is what I want to do. And he kind of shot me straight. He's like, before I say anything else, I want to show you a movie that I just filmed. And I want you to watch it. So I got to go to the theater and watch this movie. And then the next day, it was his attention to detail. He like focused on the stuff that you would normally miss, which makes it kind of realistic. And I was like, okay, it's yours. I was like, know this, if you screw this up, if you do anything to dishonor any of my friends, I'll kill you. And he didn't know what to do about that. And I mean, the look on his face, because I shook his hand, and I had his hand, and I was like, okay, here's the deal. It's yours if you want it. But if you screw it up, I'll have to, no,
Yeah.
nothing personal.
For real.
And right when that happened, I mean, he took it. We made him go to all of our the door was open for him because it was an assignment. Everything else, the books and the movies and everything, they were shut down, except for this one. So when the Navy's got your back, and the SEAL teams, man, that's how that works. So we sent him overseas. He had to go live with. I mean, the guy went through some stuff. He came back early and didn't tell me about it because some of the stuff he saw. And I was like, hey, it's real, right? It's real. And he's like, that's all I needed to see to change how I feel. I was like, okay, well, let's do this, man. And then it started.
Oh, so he went overseas and experienced. What did he experience?
They embedded him with a SEAL platoon.
Oh, Jesus.
He got to see them guys and how it's a really cool story. I'll let him tell it because of what he got to see and what he got to do. And some of the guys called me from the deployment. And they were like, hey, we put Pete through the ringer. I was like, good. Because of what he was stepping into. And, I mean, to this day, we're still best buddies. I talked to his son yesterday. He kind of comes over and we do Like he teaches my kids some things, and I teach his kids some things, and it's just everywhere I go, I was always taught to make a friend over money, right? Because that's the best cash you can have is a friend, and getting to live with him and experience that Hollywood lifestyle was amazing. I remember showing up at his house the first day. I was like, man, why does this place look so familiar? He's like, OJ's house is right. He lived in Brentwood. He's like, OJ's house is right there. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. And then it just got crazy from there. First time he took me out, I mean, those are great stories.
Catch new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience for free only on Spotify. Watch back catalog JRE videos on Spotify, including clips. Easily, seamlessly switch between video and audio experience. On Spotify, you can listen to the JRE in the background while using other apps and can download episodes to save on data cost, all for free. Spotify is absolutely free. You don't have to have a premium account to watch new JRE episodes. You just need to search for the JRE on your Spotify app. Go to Spotify now to get this full episode of the Joe Rogan Experience.